Hello everyone and welcome to Enjoy Life with Charlotte Felix. You are looking at my trading view chart, and on my trading view chart I am trading QQQ, which is the NASDAQ. So I'm going to show you how QQQ traded today. Before I do that, I am going to talk about what economic news that we are expecting to hear tomorrow, which is December the 11th. Of course, this is December the 10th, and this is the early morning market that opens up at 8:30 Tuesday, 12/10/2024. And some of the economic news that we are going to hear tomorrow that will bring a change to the market. At 8:30, we will have the U.S. CPI, the year over year. And at 8:30, we will also have the U.S. CPI, the month over month. At 8:30, we'll have the U.S. core CPI, the year over the year, and the U.S. core CPI, month over the month. And we will also have at 10:30 the EIA crude oil inventories at 10:30. So this information definitely will make the market move. Now, will it be bullish or will it be bearish? Tomorrow we will see. Talking about tomorrow, December the 11th. So now you are looking at my QQQ chart, and this is 8:30 a.m. The market opened up at 8:30, and it started off with a red candle. Okay, the post market or the pre-market. The post market started up a little higher, even though we see this red candle here. We see that the market at opening did produce two large green candles, but we are trading on a 5-minute chart, and after producing these two green candles 5 minutes, we see that this red candle started and the bears tried to take it down. And we definitely see after this red candle with these two wicks start to bring it down, the sellers step it in and brought it down on this 5-minute large candle. But of course we see this double bottom, and we see that the buyers stepped in at 8:55 a.m. and they took it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, and so they took control until 9:15. And now that we see that there's a upper top, that's a double top right here, which is the upper higher part of the day, and it's at 525.22. we see that the bears took over, and at that 525.18 price range, we see the bears took over and bought the market. The sellers took over, and the market took a downturn. Okay, when I look at my EMA, we see that the 9 is crossing right at 950. And so I'm quite sure a lot of bears held on to their purchase, and they took it all the way down at 10:05. They took it all the way down to that 522.20. And after that, we see that the buyers tried to step in. But after that, we see that the market continue to go down further. And so we see that we are bearish. Now we see after, let's see, 10:20, they took it down all the way down to 521.36. And so that's when, after, let's see what time is it, 10:40. After this time, we see that the market, we see that QQQ traded within a range. So it was sort of choppy at this time, because most of the sellers got out right here. Because from this top all the way from this morning at what, let me see what time, at 9:20 a.m. we see that the sellers took over, and they brought the market all the way down until 10:05, and at 10:05 it stayed within the range. And one reason why, when you see the 9 EMA, it is crossing over the 20 EMA. This is letting you know that the market made a change, and the sellers definitely took it down. Let me move my chart over, And as I move my chart over, we see that it stayed in this range, and we see at this support line, I have a support line at 521.33. For a while it never did go underneath this support line. Okay, so it chopped along until it tried to break the support line at 1:10 p.m. So much of the day has passed, but the bears are still in control, because we definitely do see that the 20 EMA is over. It's over the 9 EMA. So we're letting you know, you see this slant, we'll know that the market is still going further down. So the bears took over most of the day, and the bulls could not take the market back. So we see this double top right here, these two hammer candles tried to make it, the bulls tried to make a turnaround, but we see that the bears took over again, and so we see that the market is going further and further down. Now it is 1:25 p.m. and the sellers still have control, even though you see these green candles every once in a while tries to come in, but we see that the sellers, there are too many sellers in this area, and so the sellers still have the ball. They are still taking the market down. Now we are going to go all the way over, and we're going to try to go to closing. Now we see that it's 225 where you see my cursor right here. Now at this point the sellers took in, and of course just about everybody was out. They sold their purchase, and so now that we see that the bulls at closing finally trying to step in and try to bring it up, and so we closed the market on QQQ with a bullish 5-minute candle. Okay, so tomorrow will be a big announcement. Tomorrow there will be big economic announcements tomorrow, and so the main thing we'll be looking at is if we're the market, if we get that good information about the economics, about the economy, we'll see will that make the buyers step in at this point and bring the market all the way back up. And now we're going to look at SPY, and we're going to see how SPY trade today. So I am changing my chart to SPY, which is the S&P 500. Now this is the ETF. Okay, and I'm going to move my counter, and I'm going to show you where the price of SPY started today. So I'm gonna go to that 8:30 point. 8:30 a.m. point. And so it is right here. So we started out with this red candle as well. Let me see, that's 8:50. So let's see. I'm gonna go back over. Okay, here it is. It's a red candle, and boy was it when the market opened up at 8:30. Yeah, a big red candle. So came in and brought it down evidently. And so, but we see that once it came to this point, which is my support line, okay, I have that support line right here. Okay, so it did not go under the support line, and so that was a clue that the bulls, which are the buyers, were going to step in, and they did, and they brought it up 3 5-minute candles. Now this candle right here, this is a hammer candle. And this is what gives this opportunity for this red candle to come in. But then we see this double bottom again, and we see that the bulls are taking it up some more. And so time now is 9:15, and so we see that we have up and down candles. So we see sometimes the bears have it, and sometimes the bulls have it. Okay, sometimes, in other words, the seller have it, and then sometimes the buyers have it, and they're trying to bring this market up. And so as we look at this, and it played in a certain range when about 9:15 a.m. and so it did some chopping right around here. Okay, even though it was showing bullish, but it was in a chopping manner. So each one of these candles are 5-minute candles, and so we see this triple top right here, even this candle with a lot of wick up and some down, which give you an indication that the sellers are stepping in at this point. And so the sellers did step in at this point, and they brought the market down somewhat, even though we see that the buyers tried to take it back up. And we see this double top right here at resistance. This is the resistance line, this green line. And they took it down, and they took it down for the rest of the day. It's 10:25, and doing a little chopping in this area. This is my resistance line, right? I mean my support line. And so we see it's still doing a little chopping. So you see the red counter, then a green counter. Red, two red counters, then a green. And the ticket, let me widen this out some so you can really see how large sometimes the counters are. So it took it this, when it got here from this double top, we see that the barrels are still in control, even though you see that's the buyers tried to step in, but they couldn't get in control. There was too many bears in the area, so it stayed going down. So we see that the barrels are in control, and so now we are under this support line, and this is an indication that maybe the market will continue to be bearish, even though it had a little trouble right here. There was some buyers sitting at this point. Even though we was below this line, 6:04:27, we're talking about SPY, and the time is 12:10 p.m. So this is noon time. But we still see that the SPY is still coming down, lower and lower. Even it's coming down at a slower point, but it is still on a lower run. So we see this green counter come in. We see this big wick right here trying to take it up. And they did take it up. The buyers did take it up somewhat. And up to this resistance line. This is tight area right here that I have marked on my chart. And so we see that SPY continue to go further and further down. And the time is 1:05 and 1:10 right here. And then the green counter tried to come in. And that's the buyers. They tried to take it up, but they couldn't hold long and all. And as you see, the sellers took it all the way down. And now we continue to see the 20 EMA is over the 9. So this tells us, you see this slant coming down, we see that the sellers are still in control. And I'm quite sure, let me take it on over some. They stayed in control, stayed bearish until the closing of the day, which is this last counter at 250. And so this is close to the closing of the day. We know that the market closed at 3 p.m. Okay, open up at 8:30 and close at 3 p.m. But this last counter at the end of the day closed with a what? Bullish candle. Okay, this large 5-minute candle. And so this, when I take it up here, we're going to see at 255, and this is a 5-minute candle. So this is when the market closed. So what will the market bring tomorrow? Will the buyers continue to bring it back up higher, or will the sellers continue to take it down? So that all depends on what information we receive in the morning. Okay, economic information. So that is how SPY. So SPY was bearish today. Yes, they was bearish today. And so tomorrow should be interesting. Okay, we're going to take a look at Nvidia now. Okay, this is tech. So I'm going to put in the symbol. And we're going to see this is Nvidia. Nvidia is the NASDAQ. And so we're going to look at how Nvidia trades. And we see lots of red candles. Even though we're looking at the market, the sellers, they definitely took over as well. So just almost across the board, the market was, but sellers had control. I'm going to go to 8:30 in the morning. Okay, we started off bullish. 8:30 in the morning. If you look down, we see 8:30, and if you look to my left, which I am facing my computer, we look at that volume VOL above that EMA. We see that when that market opened, 7.05 million buyers was in the market trading Nvidia, and we see such large candles. So when the market opened up, Nvidia took a upward move, a large upward move. So this would have been a very good trade. First open up in the morning until this double top came, and then after that we see that Nvidia took a downturn. Sellers stepped in at this point, and they brought the market all the way down. Okay, lots of red, lots of bearish candles. So we see that the buyers are definitely in control, and as we go through the day, we definitely notice how the bears was totally in control. We see somewhat green, but they never did, the buyers never did get in control. So we see that the market continued to go down. Looking at the EMA, we see that the 20 is over this 9, and it is letting you know that the sellers are in control. And as time passed, we see that the sellers definitely did take this, take Nvidia all the way down for today. And we close with Nvidia. When it comes to a 5-minute candle, we close with a red candle. So Nvidia was bearish today. Did some little chopping within here, but what would have been a good trade is such a good trade if a person would have purchased after this bullish move right here, and at this double top purchase here, just imagine, and you held all the way until what, 10:40. From 8:30 to 10:40 you could have held. Now I'm quite sure, depending on where some people purchase, they held on all day and got out somewhere way at the almost the end of the day, which is what, right here at 2 p.m. What a great move for the sellers. Definitely a great trade. And so we see that the market, we see little green coming in and took it up, and even though it's still closed with a red candle. So this is how Nvidia moved. So tomorrow will be definitely interesting. Okay, so let's go and see. We're going to look at, let's see, Tesla. Wow, Tesla did some chopping today. Okay, a lot of people were purchasing dope, and we see at the beginning of the day, I'm quite sure this green counter, yes, this is the 8:30 mark right here, 8:30 a.m. on Tesla. We see Tesla also looking like Nvidia at the first beginning of the day. We see that Tesla had that bullish move, took it all the way up, and these are how many. This is, well, such a large green candle. Took it all the way up and continued to take it up all the way to this double candle right here. And so we see that the sellers tried to take it down, but that was definitely a tug of war right up in here. Okay, it was slanting, going up, and then it played in the range for a while all the way. Now this is noontime, from noontime by 11:45 until 1:30 p.m. It played in just a certain upper range. Okay, but this was still bullish until this last green candle, 125, and we see that the sellers stepped in and brought it down somewhat, and so it ended with a red candle. What a great day of trading. And so guys, we're going to see what tomorrow is going to bring, and just want to say, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe to Enjoy Life with Charlotte Felix. Thank you for viewing.